Take a look at the Fox hole shot, shall we? Right at the start of the race, here's what happened. And Simon Langenfelder on the Red Bull Gas taking his third of the season. Right, let's go to the podium then, shall we? Obviously need to get a hurry on here because obviously we had that stoppage. So let's go. Third overall this weekend, round 3. The MXGP of Patagonia, Argentina, and it was a fantastic performance from him as well. Number 11 on the Big Van World MTX Kawasaki. The rider from Denmark, Mikkel Harup. So Harup, third overall this weekend. His second career podium in MX2. The Big Van World MTX Kawasaki rider will be absolutely chuffed to bits with that. Second overall, Jago Geerts, a winner in race 1, second in race 2. The Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2 rider shares the same points as the eventual winner, but does extend his championship lead as well. But your overall winner, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, Tom Vial, responds to that defeat in race 1 with his own victory in race 2 to stand on the top step of the podium. His 15th Grand Prix victory. He does it here in Patagonia. Dirk Grubel will take the team trophy, but not before we see the trophies handed out to the top 3. Sofia Sanucci, Neuquén Minister of Child and Youth, on hand to deliver that third place trophy, the second podium and second trophy in his MX2 career, to Mikkel Harup. Pedro Venturo Jr., the FAM Latin America president, hands a second place trophy to Jago Geerts. And Tom Vial, the overall winner here, round 3, will receive his winner's trophy from Fabio Stefani, the mayor of Villa Langostura. Thank you for inviting us back, my friend. Fantastic part of the world. If you've never been, make sure you put it on your to-do list or your bucket list or whatever list it is that you keep at home. KTM on the top step of the podium in MX2 for the 6th time then. Luciana Villalba, the deputy mayor of Villa Langostura, handing the winner's trophy to Dirk Grubel of Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. And Antonio Alia Portela, the FIM CMS director, hands the championship leader's red plate to Jago Geerts, who will head to Portugal round 4 with that still firmly affixed to the front of his Monster Energy Yamaha. Your top 3 here, Tom Vial, Jago Geerts and Mikkel Harup. And for Tom Vial, Les Marseillaise, the national anthem of France. Top 3 here this weekend in the MX2 Grand Prix of Patagonia, Argentina. Tom Vial, your winner with the second and a first. Jago Geerts, second with a first and a second. Mikkel Harup, third overall with a fourth and a third. We'll talk to the top 3 in just a few moments' time.
Vamos a hacer un anuncio y una presentación muy especial. Comenzando con Lucas de la Fuente.
MX2 race 2 went a little bit like this then in Patagonia. Over on the right-hand side, Jago Geerts, Tom Vial, but it was around the outside. Oh, this was the first restart, wasn't it? Gianluca Facchetti in around about 4th or 5th position, just behind the two Kawasaki's. He spun out of control here and then caught the rear wheel of possibly Jago Kietzer. He went down. We had a red flag situation. When the red flag were put away and the race was restarted, here's what happened. Simon Langenfelder took the foxhole shot for the 3rd time this season. Jago Kietz right there behind him. But as we went through the first few turns here, Jago Kietz eventually battled through to get himself up there into first place. Tom Vial went round the outside of Langenfelder to get into second. Then he had to yield as Horgmo came charging through. Horgmo then up into 3rd place. Guadagnini was on a charge, found his way up the inside of Langenfelder as well. Then the challenge for the lead, the battle for the lead. Changed hands. Lap 5, Vial up the inside of Kietz. Then Horgmo just lost the front, picked himself up, but then would not finish the race later on. Mikael Harup was then absolutely on it. Not before Horgmo, though. Picked himself up and started charging through, but 2 corners to go. 28, Tom Vial picking himself up to win the race and the overall.
Tom Vial, congratulations. It's been so close between you and Hertz all weekend. Hertz outsmarted you in race 1, but you weren't going to make the same mistake twice. Tell us about your weekend.
That was a nice weekend. I really wanted to win. I didn't win the first 2 races of the championship, so yeah, it was a race to win today. I felt good all weekend, and Jago was also very fast, so it was tough. I wanted to pass, and second moto I passed him, and then I could keep the lead till the end, so it was really nice. I want to thank the team for the great job. Everybody who worked on KTM for the amazing bike, and yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom. Second overall today we have Jago Hertz. Jago, winner of race 1. It was a perfect, well-timed race from yourself. Maybe a couple of mistakes in that second race when you were pushing to regain the lead. You still got the red plate. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, I'm happy about the weekend. First heat was really good. Second heat had a good start, but after 10-15 minutes I got really big blisters on my hands, so it was difficult to keep the control, but you cannot win every moto, so I'm happy with the 1-2 today and keep the red plate, so looking forward to the next GPs.
Great job, thanks Jago. Third overall today we have Mikael Harup. Great to see you, Mikael. You've been solid all weekend, some hard charging races from you. This is only your second ever MX2 podium, the first this year. Fantastic weekend for you.
Yeah, the weekend started out a little slow like it did a couple other weekends ago, but this time I had a better feeling with the bike, finally get to feel good on the track, and yeah, I could feel already from Saturday off that I was quick and I had the pace to go on for the podium, but it took a lot of hard work, especially today. I had to charge through the pack in first motor because I made a little mistake, but all in all it was just a super weekend, and I'm so happy to be back on the podium. It feels really good. The work finally pays off. Yeah.
Thank you.
A jubilant Mikael Harup then, 3rd overall on the Big Van World MTX Kawasaki, his 2nd career podium in MX2 and his 1st of the season. It's his 1st since Mattley Basin round 1 2020, of course, a weekend where he got a pole position that day as well. But Mikael Harup, 3rd overall here, round 3 MXGP of Patagonia, Argentina. He'll believe he can do it again, I'm sure. Jago Kietz suffering from blisters in race 2, couldn't hold on then, the pace just too hot, but he does leave here with an extended lead in the championship, 26 points clear now of Tom Vial, the overall Grand Prix winner, who moves up to 2nd in the championship. And for Jago Kietz, his 30th career podium. Tom Vial, though, his 15th Grand Prix victory, the Red Bull KTM rider, victorious here in Patagonia, Argentina. He's 2nd in race 1, a winner here in race 2. It was a big win for the Frenchman. We'll see him and the rest of the guys in Portugal in 2 weeks' time. Right, next up, MXGP Race 2. See you in a moment. Hello everybody, welcome back to the MXGP of Patagonia, Argentina. Round 3 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. We are in the Garden of Patagonia. Beautiful part of the world. We are just 15k or so from the beautiful, picturesque alpine resort of Villa Langostura. This is literally the scenery that we see every single day since we've been here. Some of us from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, depending when your planes arrive. But we've got one more race to go, and it'll be a shame to leave this beautiful part of the world once again. But the last time we were here, it was Antonio Cairoli who was victorious in 2019. But Paul Jonas, a two-time winner. Jorge Prado has also won here as well. So too is Tim Geiser. He's on the top step twice previously in 16 and 17. So we have plenty of winners and plenty of contenders for the podiums here, of course. Jeremy Seawer and people like that have been on the podium in the past as well. But the racetrack here at Neuquén, just outside of Villa Langostura, 1,670 metres long, 85 metres into that first turn. So from the finish line, around the first couple of corners, and then the base of the third jump, down the back straight through the trees. That's where your Sector 1 ends, Sector 2 begins. And then just after the wave section, the Montreux to jump through that next right, around about there is where Sector 2 ends, Sector 3 begins. And then, as you can see, it gets lighter. So 4 sectors in which to look out for. Let's go down. In fact, before we do the pre-grid interviews, let's go and check out what happened in MXGP Race 1. Here's what happened earlier. MXGP Race 1, the gates dropped under beautiful sunshine. Henry Jacobi, a little bit wild as he headed down the start straight in the first turn. He did bag the foxhole shot, though. He lost time on the exit of the turn. Maxime Renault took over the lead. Ruben Fernandez was right behind him in second position. Paul Jonas third. Seawer in the blue and white of the Argentina football strip and the national colours of the flag in fourth place. But as we got into the wave section, Ruben Fernandez, Honda 114, took over the lead until this happened about 3 corners later. Chucked it away spectacularly. That handed the advantage then to Maxime Renault. Geiser moved himself into second with that move on Seawer. And then Jonas, who was leading, he fell around about the halfway mark. Renault took over the lead. Geiser was up to second when he found his way past Seawer, and then he went after Maxime Renault. And for the last 5-10 minutes of the race, this is how close the two were. Jonas lost another couple of positions late on. He would cross the line in 6th. But it was Maxime Renault who held on for the win ahead of Geiser, Seawer, Prado and Olsen. His first win in MXGP in his 12th career race victory. And the fans absolutely loved it, and we've loved having the fans back as well. Full house here this weekend at round 3. Let's go down to Lisa. Right, she was first with Ruben Fernandez, Honda 114 Motorsports, but before that, the guy who led so much of that first race, Paul Jonas, standing construct Husqvarna.
So we're almost ready for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2. But let's speak to one of the main protagonists of that first race, is Paul Jonas. Pauls, we saw you go down out of the lead. What happened?
Yeah, you know, like I was leading for a long time, which was surprisingly, and I was feeling really well, and then just made a small mistake there in the corner and went in the rut a little bit sideways, and on a takeoff to the jump, lost the balance in the rut and just went down. So after that, I tried to get back in rhythm, but it was quite difficult. But yeah, now just focus on the second moto.
Well, look at the positives. You've got the starts, you've got the speeds. I mean, you've been strong all weekend, and it has been a tough couple of weeks coming into this round. I mean, that's a main confidence boost for you anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's been really good, you know, like it's a nice confidence booster, and I'm feeling really well. So, yeah, just need to put in some hours on the bike, and we'll be ready to battle with the guys up front every weekend.
Good race, thank you. So I need to catch up with Ruben Fernandez from Team 114. Ruben, a really difficult one, really, because you were leading for maybe all of 2 seconds. And just tell us what happened. Was it just maybe your emotions just got the better of you?
Well, I don't think so. I was just having a good run out of the corner, and then from one moment to another one, I was just on the floor. You know, it happened really quick, and I don't really understand what happened there, but.
I'm sorry, I can tell you're clearly disappointed, but look, you know, you got the starts, and you got your fans behind you. What's the plan for this final race of the day for you?
Well, to keep it on 2 wheels, that's first. But you know, I'll try to get another good start and then try to stay there in the front with the guys, and trying to get some good points for the championship.
Thanks, Ruben. Best of luck for this final race. Okay, it's time for MXGP race 2.
Here's how the riders line up for MXGP race 2. Same as they did for race 1, with Paul Jonas going to line on pole for the first time in MXGP. Virtue of his qualifying race win on Saturday. Jeremy Seawer goes to the line next, ahead of Jorge Prado, Maxim Renault, Thomas Kjær Olsen, Glenn Koldenoff, and Tim Geiser, with Ruben Fernandez, Van Horebeke and Tixier rounding out the top 10. And the rest of the riders you see on screen there, Henry Jacobi, Mitch Evans, Alberto Ferrato, Ben Watson, and then Martin Humberto from Venezuela, Lautaro Toro of Argentina, and the rest of the Argentine football team, with a Chilean thrown in there as well for good mix. Riders are behind the gate. We are trying to make up for lost time here, because obviously we had a stoppage in the first lap of MX2 race 2. But looks like we've almost brought it back on time. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend then. And it is MXGP race 2. Who will it be that grabs that all-important foxhole shot? In race 1, it was Henry Jacobi for the second time this season. All eyes on the gate though as we charge down into the first turn. Another good jump from Jonas on that right side, but immediately out to see Tim Geiser going to the middle and then running wide. In fact, 3 Hondas, first, second and third, as they hit the line. May have been Geiser, but Prado it is who leads. Prado leads, Geiser second, Jonas another good start for him in third. And then in fourth place, it looked like it may be Evans or Fernandez, and it is Fernandez. Then Seawer, Renault, the 2 Yamahas, Olsen, Van Horebeke, Evans in 9th, Tixier, Watson there in green in 10th place, as the riders come into land just before the rhythm section. Takeoffs through here have been fixed ahead of this second race. Seawer there in the distinctive colours of the Argentinian flag and the national football team in around about 6th, 7th place. Oh. Jonas, the Husqvarna, and a triple sandwich here. Prado nervous. Geiser trying to make a move early on. Will he cut back to the inside here? He thinks about it. That's exactly what he thinks, and he reads it well. Geiser leads on the opening lap. Prado tries to cut back, didn't realise Jonas was there, and he loses second position immediately. And Jonas up the side of the track, but he somehow manages to stay there. Prado, as a result of that, gets himself back into second. And Fernandez trying to make up for what didn't happen in race 1. He's there in 4th place, just behind him. Then we got your winner from race 1, Maxim Renault, in 5th place. So down into the first turn then, once again, Geiser, Prado, Jonas, Fernandez, Renault, just off the back of this quintet. Evans in 6th, 7th is Van Horebeke, 8th Tixier, Koldenoff 9, Watson 10, Beaton, Jacobi, Ferrato, Nicolas Rolando, Lautaro Toro, and the rest of the guys. Seawer has fallen. He's down in 23rd or 24th position. So the rider who finished 3rd in race 1 will not be featuring on the podium today. And Olsen down there, so maybe those two had a coming together. Who knows? Maybe one fell, the other had nowhere to go. Maybe they both made contact with each other. And that's a shame for Olsen as well. 5th in race 1, had a shot at the podium. Positions changing here. Fernandez needs to be mindful of Renault, who cuts beautifully to the inside. Takes 4th away from the Spaniard, or does he? Yes, he does. So Renault on the charge then. And Renault immediately going after Jonas, and that 3rd place. Doesn't want to hang around. He knows he's got not just the opportunity of getting on the podium, as Jonas a little bit untidy through there, and it cost him time as well, and he loses that 3rd place to the Frenchman. So Renault now has Prado in his sights. Whoa, but not before. Jonas had a cheeky look, and then he spins up, and that will allow Fernandez to get alongside him, so he's got to control the inside here, and he can't do that. Fernandez is back into 4th place. So Geiser, Prado, Renault, Fernandez. And then Jonas, who tries to carve back through the inside. Good early showing this from Ruben Fernandez. Honda 114 Motorsports, lead rider in shot in red. In fourth place in the race, doing his best to keep the standing construct rider behind him, but to no avail. And Jonas is back in fourth place. And once again, Jonas, who's a two-time winner around here, goes back after Maxime Renault. And third position, 25.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. And already we're seeing a lot of action out on the racetrack. Guys from Prado separated by 2 seconds. Guys are saying, I don't want any involvement in any altercations. All I want to do my job, win the race, stand on the top step of the podium, hear my national anthem, and then do one. Get back to Europe, focus on Portugal. Coming into land. Oh, and Olsen. Well, obviously he went missing on the opening lap with Siwa, but I don't know if they were linked. But Siwa currently circulating in 22nd. Olsen was 24th when he just pulled out of the race. Heartbreak then for the Dane. Meanwhile, 3 laps complete. Geiser extending his lead, 3 seconds now between him and this rider here, 61, the Red Bull Gas-Gasser Jorge Prado. Prado will be on the podium, 3rd overall though, if he stays where he is. Here's your race leader, Team HRC. Immaculate once again, another solid start. Good performance in race 1, just couldn't find his way past Renault. Leading the way in race 2 and looking pretty much invincible at the moment as well, Geiser. Oh, almost through the front door there, Ruben Fernandez, as he went after Paul Jonas through the waves. Closing in the background, Mitch Evans. So Mitch Evans, HRC, haven't seen too much of the rider in 6th place. There he is in the background, just ahead of the SDM Corsa Beta of Jeremy Van Horbik, the 911 KTM of Jordi Tixier. Glenn Koldenoff on the Monster Energy Yamaha, and Jed Beaton's F&H Kawasaki rounding out the top 10. Watson 11th for Kawasaki Racing Team. Jacoby 12th for JM Honda. Maxime Renault was solid in race 1. Gradually picked his way through. He started 2nd. Well, the first official lap he was in 2nd. Then capitalised on the mistake from Paul Jonas around about the halfway point, or just before, or just after, sorry. Not 100% fit coming into this one, he said, in his post-race winner's speech. But he'll take that win all day long, I'm sure. The gap between 1st and 3rd, Geiser and Renault, 5 seconds, but a 45.6 and a 46.1 for Prado and Renault. The Spaniard just making some ground on the Frenchman here, the reigning world MX2 champion. Paul Jonas a couple of seconds further back. The standing construct Husqvarna just coming into view now, top of your screen. And he has the 2 Hondas of Fernandez and Evans closing in on him as well. In fact, Evans looks like he's bridging the gap to Ruben Fernandez on the Honda 114 machine. So Evans and Fernandez just here. Fernandez leading the way in that little battle for Honda supremacy. Fernandez in 7th, Mitch Evans behind him in 8th, the Australian. Fed up at talking about the wrist injury, so he won't. Just wants to get on and focus, just like we will. And right now he's focused on his teammate. Well, not his teammate, but fellow Honda rider, Ruben Fernandez from Honda 114. Spaniard wouldn't have missed track time, but he would have missed being up at the sharp end in that first race with these guys. And Evans here good to see him performing, and he's got Van Horebeke a couple seconds adrift. Slowly making his way back to normal then, the number 43. A little bit untidy through there though, but keeps it up on 2 wheels. Meanwhile, 41, Paul Jonas, disappearing out of shot in 4th place. This race kind of settling down a lot quicker than it did in race 1. See, we're up to 15th now, by the way. And all of a sudden, Prado and Renault, absolutely nothing in it between these two. So Prado under pressure from Maxime Renault. So the Red Bull Gas allowing the Monster Energy Yamaha rider to close in on him, a 46.4, 45.2. Gap was about 3/4 of a second as they hit the line at the end of lap 5. We're now on lap 6. And the fans out there on the hillside will be doing everything they can to urge on the 61 of Prado. As Renault almost gets alongside the Spaniard, who goes to the outside and then loses a position here. Well, he tried to defend there. He tried to outsmart Renault by going, you know what, I can hear you on the left. I'm going to cut you off on the left. Guess what? Renault went to the inside and outsmarted him. Moves into 2nd place. Watch this. Goes to the outside. Renault cut back to the inside, and then guess what? Nowhere to go for Prado. It had to get off the gas and stand it up. Renault now 2nd. Lap times last time around, 46.5 for Geiser, 45.2 Renault, and they were 3.7 seconds apart. See what kind of response Tim Geiser can put up here, and what a clear track will do for Maxime Renault. 45.9, 46.5 in traffic. The gap already 4.3, but see where we go from here. There's Geiser already through turn 2. Renault being urged on by the boss. Louis Voster's down there in pit lane. And Renault already gapping Prado. 1.5 seconds they hit the line, so another good positive showing this from the 959 Maxime Renault. Right, the interesting thing here is going to be Prado in 3rd place and Paul Jonas in 4th. What can the 41 do? Even if he finds his way past Prado, it's not going to be good enough for the podium at the moment, because Prado on 38, Jonas on 33. But Jonas also has a little bit of close company still with Ruben Fernandez, as you can see. So the Honda 114 rider, number 70 here, Ruben Fernandez in 5th place, latching back onto the rear wheel of the Latvian. Jump face is absolutely perfect. A little bit of FMX action there going on from the man in green. Right, there's Van Horebeke coming towards us now, number 89. Been on the podium here last time around in 2019 when he was Honda SR Blues mounted. So Van Horebeke, Beta SDM Corsa, wasn't going to be here initially, despite being 8th place in the championship and 9th and 8th in the opening 2 rounds. But then it appeared the team had a change of heart, and what a result that is as well, because he will leave here 5th overall in the championship. So somewhat of a gain then from 8th for the Jerry man. Right, Geiser up on the pegs. Team HRC, gap 5.7, so he has responded to the threat of Maxime Renault. Followed him pretty much from lap 12 to lap 20 in race 1. Couldn't find a way through. Doesn't want to fall for the same mistake twice, does it? Get out in front, turn in a couple of good laps, put some distance between, and then control the race from there. That seems to be the mindset from the 4-time champ. Geiser favouring the outside as well. You just see from the inside the berm has disappeared midway through, so it's easier to get across the downside there. Stepping up onto the plateau and then doubling his way down. 7 laps in the books. Geiser almost 6 seconds clear, and the split time sectors 1, 2 and 3 for him and Renault respectively, 25.5, 25.7, 24.3, 24.7, 31.3, 31.1. A couple tenths pulled back by Renault in sector 3, but race 1, Geiser was so fast in the final sector. It just chucks it into the final turn. Lap 8 complete. 25.1 for him in the final sector, and for Renault, coming through the final turn, 25.5. So again, the gap going out to 6.5, and Geiser doing exactly what he did in race 1. Fastest in the final sector. Right, Prado hanging on to that 3rd place, dealing with a little bit of traffic. Jonas heading uphill. Still has Fernandez behind him. Evans not too far behind either. That will be a podium. Geiser, Renault, 47 points apiece. Prado, 3rd on 38. Prado with a 4th and a 3rd. If that's where he stays. But just under 15 minutes plus 2. Bit of a slow burner this one then. We had a bit of drama and action at the start. But not the same kind of intensity that we had in race 1. Maybe there's more to come in the later stages. But as it stands right now, Tim Geiser on course to become the first 3-time winner of this Grand Prix. And all of them in MXGP, all of them on a Honda as well. It would be Honda's 5th victory in Argentina since we first came to this country back in 1985 in the 125 class in the north of the country in Salta. So as Geiser hits the line, lap 9, 2 corners behind him and a little bit more is Maxime Renault. Seems like he's got enough in the tank to stay there and not feel the threat from Jorge Prado. Well, if this is what he can do when he says he's not feeling 100%, what can we expect when we get to Portugal in a couple of weeks' time? So Prado 3rd, Jonas and Fernandez about a second apart at the moment, 48.6, 48.4. Evans still there in 6th, Van Horbik a couple seconds back, almost exactly 2 seconds back. Then we've got Koldenhoff in 8th place as Jorge Prado all of a sudden sets sector 1, timing sector purple. 25.4 for Geiser, 25.8 for Renault, and also 25.0. So a massive pullback there in time by Prado on Renault. Is the Frenchman in trouble? Well, sector 2, he manages to pull back another couple tenths, so there might be the answer. Oh, those horrible holes in the bottom of the dip there that Renault just caught. A gnarly old place this, you know, this track. Definitely catches the riders out if they are not 100% focused. Geiser, smooth as you like. Up on the pegs, solid. The 243. Won the first 2 Grand Prix this year, Matchley Basin and Lombardia. So the Great Britain Grand Prix and Lombardia. He's on course for making it 3 wins in a row at the start of the season. First time he's ever done that, of course. All eyes on the battle for second in the championship as well. Maxime Renault will leapfrog Jorge Prado on today's performance. He will put the Spaniard into 3rd in the standings to the tune of about 4 points. And just looking at Ruben Fernandez here, it's an impressive ride really from the Spaniard. Obviously ended up upside down in race 1 when he led for what, 1, 2, 3 corners? Maybe the occasion just getting the better of him. But Jonas doing a great job of hanging on to that 4th position at the moment. putting some distance between Fernandez through that wave section. So maybe a slight response this from the Latvian on the standing construct Husqvarna. Maybe this had something to do with it. Oh, like a little kick there offline. Jonas just about within the boundaries of the track when he came into land. Jorge Prado arrived here second in the championship this weekend. 5 points clear of Maxime Renault, but obviously those two are going to leave here with Renault second and Prado third in the championship. Jonas with fourth overall on the day. He'll be pleased with that, but could have been so much better had he have, let's say, won that first race or even got second in that first race, but it was a mistake that cost him eventually. Always shown good form around here, though, has Jonas. 2 Grand Prix victories in MX2. Prado needs to be mindful of the fact that Jonas is right there. Not closing too much, though. 48.8 factor, sorry, 49.7, 48.0. But Jorge Prado here, Prado. Third in the race, will be third overall in the Grand Prix. We're pleased to be on the podium here at the very least. Jonas got on the podium here first time. It was only his second ever MX2 podium back in 2015 when he went second and third to Dylan Ferrandis, the first winner in the MX2 class when he was Kawasaki mounted back then, of course. Jonas then a winner in 2017 and 18. Half the battle, isn't it? When you arrive at a track where you know you've already got good form, good results. Some riders look at it and say, yeah, that was then. Wipe the slate clean and deal with everything that's ahead of them. Don't go on past results. Others thrive on those past results. Maxime Renault hasn't had a great time here in the past. Hits neutral there on the way out of the turn as well. But he'll be making amends with that win in race 1, second in race 2, second overall. For his first visit to the podium. Watch this, gets out of the turn, catches a hole there, just knocks himself into neutral because his left foot was on the peg, right by the gear lever. Renault crosses the line, 12 laps in the books, 8 seconds down on Tim Geiser. Knows there's no way to catch Geiser now. He'll just consolidate that, take a share of the points. Meanwhile, Paul's Jonas up on the pegs. Going in pursuit of Jorge Prado. So as we look at the 61 of Prado, who looks a little bit stiff, it has to be said, as Jonas starts to close in on him, bringing Fernandez with him as well in 5th, Evans in 6th, and Van Hoorbeek closing in slightly on Evans as they fight over that 6th place. So just coming into land in a few moments' time. In fact, they were almost side by side through the wave section, weren't they? But Jonas got his hands full here of Ruben Fernandez, though. Yeah, top of the screen. Van Hoorbeek and Evans almost locked together in that top corner. Just behind, just waiting to see. I think Van Hoorbeek has gone through. So Van Hoorbeek, I think, has passed Evans and moved into 6th place. We'll soon find out when we hit the jump in the background. Yes, he has. So good ride in that from the Jerry man. Be another couple of points on the board for him. But Fernandez is not done with Jonas. Cuts back to the inside. Big handful of gas. Side by side, the 41 and the 70. Jonas squeezes him to the inside. He's going to have to go defensive here. That's exactly what he does. But the 2 riders bang bars on the way out. Fernandez terminates Jonas. and gets on the gas, doesn't even look back. Says, I'll take that 4th place, thank you very much. Watch this. Jonas went defensive here, and Fernandez was in half a mind to go outside or inside. Then he committed here, got on the gas, stood himself up, boom, down the side of Jonas, almost knocked him off balance. Fernandez up to 4th. Persistent riding from the Spaniard. Will there be a response from Jonas, though, in the next just under 6 minutes plus 2 laps? Is the lack of racing fitness just starting to creep up on him, despite a good qualifying race where he took his first qualifying race win and therefore pole position in the Premier class on Saturday. Running up front for much of the race earlier today before a simple mistake. And then obviously, you know, all of that will eventually creep up on you when these guys are already 2 Grand Prix deep, 4 races plus qualifying races. Right, Geiser, Renault, Prado, Jonas, Fernandez, Van Orbeek, Koldenhoff. Evans is now down to 8th, by the way. So just, again, another rider maybe lacking fitness at the moment. Mitch Evans, but 2 solid rides from him all the same. Bullet doing his best to stay on 2 wheels. 14 laps complete. Fernandez going after Jorge Prado. And in Mantova, there was a time when Fernandez was the lead Spaniard. Well, guess what? He wants to be the lead Spaniard here in race 2. Fernandez, 48.05, 49.9 for Jonas, and Prado, 48.6. So Fernandez, more than half a second quicker than Jorge Prado. Not saying he doesn't look comfortable, just not his normal flamboyant self, Jorge Prado, 61. Fernandez won't care too much about that. He'll just see the 61, view that as a target, as he eyes up 3rd place in this MXGP race 2. He's got 4 minutes plus 2 laps in which to do something about the Spaniard ahead of him, number 61, Jorge Prado. Definitely got the bit between his teeth, put it that way. El Toro, red rag to a bull and all that. Paul Jonas has had a solid Grand Prix, regardless of what happened in that first race. He'll leave here 4th overall on the weekend. .15 laps complete for Geiser and Renault, who hits the line any moment now. 7.3 seconds adrift, those two. So Geiser just backing things off a little bit, and Seewer pulling in to the right-hand side. So Jeremy Seewer was 14th. So whatever problems he has, he's down in pit lane. Just as we came over the line with our 2 riders here, just saw him pulling in. So whatever the problem there is, Jeremy Seewer pulling out of the race. Had high expectations, was in full confident mood this weekend, arriving with the colours of the national flag and the football team strip of Argentina. So Seewer, 14th, will go begging. Meanwhile, the Jerry man, Jeremy Van Orbeek, has been passed by Koldenhoff, who's up to 6 now, so the 89. The SDM Corsa Beta rider, who was 3rd overall here in 2019. He will leave here 6th overall this weekend, pull himself up to 5th place in the championship. He'll be absolutely made up with that, and he'll say that this was the trip worth making. And I'm sure his bosses at SDM Corsa Beta will think exactly the same as well. Meanwhile, just over a minute and a half to go. 4 laps then. Tim Geiser, inch perfect and immaculate as he hits the line for the 16th time. Surely his gap going out again this time around. Let's have a look. 25.9, 26.1, yeah, 25.2. Bit of time. Pulled back in sector 2. It's irrelevant though because the gap's 7 seconds. Not often you see Geiser give up this type of advantage over his rivals. And looks like he's having an absolute blast out there as well, has to be said. Fans love it. Renault coming into view now in second place. He's got about 3 seconds over Jorge Prado. And he's responded to the threat of Ruben Fernandez behind him. So as he puts in a 1:48.0, it's only a 10th quicker than Renault. Two-lap board getting readied. As they head uphill, back down the other side. See those hard edge bumps really catching 1 or 2 riders out. Not just this weekend, but over the years as well. Good solid effort though this from Renault. Making his mark in MXGP as the reigning MX2 world champion. Tim Geiser, Team HRC. Holding a nice tight line, not taking the risk of going high. Demolishing the berm and going over the top. 2 laps to go. Keep an eye on that battle though for a potential second place between Renault and Prado. 1:47.7 for Renault. 48.0, so again, a couple more tenths going there in favour of Renault then. So maybe second in the race is decided after all. But Geiser, Renault, Prado, first, second, third in the race. Podium will mirror that in the overall classification. Tough Grand Prix this weekend. Nicely done through there, that middle double. Just getting a bit of a nice little whip through there just to sort of get him on the downside. Up on the pegs there, that corrected him actually through that little tricky section. Back with Geiser then. And a walk in the park for the 4-time world champion. And Tim Geiser and Team HRC already clocking up the podiums, the Grand Prix victories. On course for Grand Prix win number 36. And his third here in Argentina at this Patagonia circuit, just outside of Villa Langostura. Just 1 lap then, and around about 1:48.49, separating Geiser from the checkered flag on the top step of the podium. Maxime Renault, impressive again, but Geiser just getting the better of him in this second race. The gap coming down, but that's more Geiser just backing off, controlling the race. He's managed to gap Prado as well. Prado throwing in the towel on this final lap. That gap between Renault and Prado now 6 seconds. As Geiser, back end, just kicks out a little bit. You heard the roars from the crowd there as well. They sense that. Watch this. Bit of a kick. Fans groan ooh, as he went through because they thought he was off. But probably more impressed that he saved it. Round of applause for Tim Geiser and Team HRC. It's been an epic performance from him once again. Immaculate Tim. Got out front early. Laid down a couple of fast laps early on. Sent out the message, come catch me if you can. Nobody did. And it's been a comfortable run in this second race. for Tim Geiser. Team HRC will be absolutely ecstatic with their man as well. But 2 corners to go, and Tim Geiser, already with 162 top 3 race finishes, will make it 163. But more importantly, his 90th Grand Prix podium, his 36th as a winner, and his 70th race victory. Maxime Renault over the line second, and that's going to be good enough for second overall. His first podium as well here in Argentina. And it's another second place finish, back-to-back seconds for Renault, Lombardia, and now here in Argentina. Third in the race, Fernandez. He found his way past Prado. So on the final lap then, Fernandez and Prado changed positions. Jonas 5th, Koldenhoff 6th, Van Horbik 7th. We wait for Evans to come through in 8th. He should be. Tixier 9 and Watson 10. And it was probably even in the last sector, actually, because Fernandez, 25-0, 26. Yeah, so pulled back a massive amount of time, did Fernandez on Prado. Prado probably just thinking third place was safe. So getting pipped on the final lap then. We'll see you guys next time. Yes, you the fans. Thanks for making this Grand Prix very special indeed, as always. But we're getting ready to go down and talk with Tim Geiser, our Grand Prix winner here in Argentina. 3 wins now here in Argentina, and his 90th career podium. Let's hear what he has to say in a moment when he catches up with Lisa. She's obviously too fast for the 4-time world champion. Here is Lisa Leyland with our Grand Prix winner here, Tim Geiser.
Tim Geiser, massive congratulations. 3 out of 3 GP victories so far this year. You took the whole shot in that second race. You made it look easy. You are on fire at the moment.
Yeah, I was enjoying all weekend, let's say. We have some bad luck in quali race. But anyway, today we bounced back. First race didn't have a good start. Was not easy to pass. The track was sketchy. You didn't want to override the track because it bites you. But anyway, second race took a good start. Then Jorge passed me because I went too wide first corner. Then I managed to pass him quite quickly, make a comfortable lead and control the race. So super happy.
Great job. Thanks, Tim.
Tim Geiser in cruise mode at the moment in this 2022 FIM Motocross World Championship MXGP. 3 Grand Prix victories on the bounce now. Great Britain, Lombardia in Italy a couple of weeks ago, and now here in Argentina. It's his 3rd victory around this Vichalangostura circuit as well. And he opens up an advantage at the top of the championship standings as well over Maxime Renault, who now moves up to 2nd. Give you the official confirmation then of MXGP Race 2. In just a few moments' time. MXGP Race 2 then finishes like this. Tim Geiser beating Maxime Renault, a reverse of the positions from race 1. Fernandez passing Prado on the final lap to go 3rd. Jonas was 5th, Koldenhoff 6th, Van Horbik and Evans rounding out the top 8. And then in 9th place we had Jordi Tixier and Ben Watson in the top 10. Jed Beaton 11, Henry Jacobi 12, Albi Ferrato 13. Then we had Nick Rolando, Sergio Villarongan, Victor Dario Arco, Marcus Trasero, Pablo Gaeta, Agustin Carrasco and Francisco Carrascos. The overall, for the 3rd time this year and the 3rd time in Argentina, belongs to Tim Geiser. Maxime Renault on the podium for the first time here, but is 2nd in MXGP. Jorge Prado hangs on to that 3rd step despite getting passed on the final lap by Ruben Fernandez. And the championship looks like this. Tim Geiser now pulls clear of Maxime Renault, who moves up to second place. Prado drops to third, Siwa fourth, and Van Hoorbeek up to fifth. He was eighth at the start of the weekend. Fernandez now sixth, Olsen, Koldenhoff beaten, and Ferrato ran out the top 10. And Honda lead the way by 10 points over Yamaha in the Manufacturers' Championship. Gas third, Husqvarna fourth, KTM there in fifth, Beta and Kawasaki. And Suzuki scored points today as well. Take a look at the Foxhole shot, shall we? Tim Geiser with his first of the season. Gets him on the Foxhole shot scoreboard. He didn't even score one last year. The last time was back in 2020, where he scored 6 Foxhole shots, Tim Geiser, and that would have been race 2 at Trentino 2, the penultimate round. So a long while coming for Tim Geiser. Let's get ready for the podium then here, shall we? The third round of the FIM Motocross World Championship there in the MXGP of Patagonia, Argentina. And third overall, Jorge Prado on the podium, but disappointed with his performance. It's written all over his face, but the Red Bull Gas Factory rider will take the third step here. Second overall, Maxime Renault, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP, a winner in race 1 for the first time in the Premier class. Second overall here, back-to-back podiums, back-to-back seconds for the Frenchman. But Tim Geiser, Team HRC, 3 out of 3. 3 wins here in Argentina as well. And he extends his lead to 17 points now over Maxime Renault, who moves up to second place in the championship. Massimo Castelli there, the head honcho. And actually, Massimo Castelli, when Davy Strybos won here in 1986 at Cagiva, he was Strybos's mechanic. So this guy, a welcome return. Third overall then, Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. 2 fourth place finishes for the Spaniard. Pedro Venturo Jr., the FIM Latin America president, hands a second place trophy to Maxime Renault. And Tim Geiser, our overall winner. Omar Gutierrez, the governor of Neuquén. He's been a busy boy this weekend as well. He was down at the riders' signing sessions yesterday. I saw him walking around the track yesterday. He's been here all day today. And again, thanks for having us here at Villa Langostura, Neuquén, for this third round of the FIM Motocross World Championship. Thoroughly enjoyed it once again. Alejandra Piricasas, the Neuquén Minister of Sport, handing the team trophy to Massimo Castelli, Team HRC. As I said before, whilst there was no team trophy presented him back in 1986, he has had a winner here in the past as well, but he's been a very, very solid part of Honda's program over the last few years anyway, so he would have been here when Geiser was victorious on 2 previous occasions. But Geiser continues to lead the championship by 17 points as we head to round 4.